Hey everybody, thanks so much for clicking on this video. I wanted to talk to you guys today about camera gear. This is a question I get asked a lot as to what I use to shoot with when I go on my adventures and just what kind of professional gear that I have. So I wanted to walk you through all the different cameras that I have and which ones I use to shoot what, and then walk you through also what kind of gear I have as far as like tripods and sound equipment and all that kind of stuff goes. So we'll just jump right in and get started with cameras. My main camera is actually the one that is shooting me right now. So I'm going to switch over to my other camera, which is going to be my iPhone right now, and I'll show you a little bit more about this camera. This is the Canon XC10, and it's a combination of a photography camera and a video camera. Canon came out with it as a video version of the 7D Mark III, which is a fabulous camera, but this one is a little bit more equipped to do video. And there's some features that I just absolutely love about it, like the screen on it that flips up. It does have a zoom from 24 to 240, and it has all the great functions that a professional photography camera would have as well, including ISO, f-stops, and everything else that you would need to take some great photos while you're out on the road. The other thing I love about this camera is that it shoots in 4K and 1080p. I can switch it between an SD card and a big flash disc, so it's great for storage as well. It holds a ton of clips. Even if I'm shooting in 4K, I can fit a ton on the card, which is great for me. This camera also has great sound quality, and even without an external microphone, you can hear me very clearly and loudly, which is the way that I'm shooting right now, because I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit later about what kind of sound equipment I use. There are a ton of photography and video cameras out on the market. The reason that I chose the XC10 is because it's a combination of both. Now, when I go out on a really big shooting trip, like earlier in the year when I was in Yosemite, I actually brought two cameras with me. I brought this one that I'm recording with right now, and I also brought a DSLR. I have a Nikon D3100. This is a great photography camera. It also takes video, but I wouldn't recommend it. If you're trying to get in photography or just starting out, a DSLR is definitely the way to go. This Nikon has interchangeable lenses. This one right now has a 70 to 210, so it's a little bit more of a telephoto. But you can put all kinds of lenses on here. You can put just a standard 24 or, a huge telephoto for shooting things really, really up close. Other cameras I always have with me on the road are my iPhone. I have the iPhone 6S. I shoot a lot of photos with my iPhone. It takes great photos. Sometimes when I compare the photos from my iPhone to the photos from my Canon, there is not that much of a difference in quality. So an iPhone is always a great way to get started if you don't have a camera and you just want to get some Instagram-worthy photos. And there's also some great apps now that are coming out to make all of your photos from your iPhone a little bit better. I also always bring my iPad with me. This shoots in HD, it shoots in 1080p as well. It's got decent sound quality, not the best, but it's great because I can see myself and it's a huge screen. So my iPad is always a trusty little helper, especially if I'm shooting with my GoPro. I can spread the feed straight to this and see what I'm shooting, which is fabulous. One of the cameras that I never leave home without is definitely my GoPro. And I've had all of these ones. I've had the 3, the 4, and I just recently got the 5. I love GoPros, especially for me because I'm always doing adventure things, whether it be hiking a mountain or scuba diving or snorkeling or jumping out of a plane. And so GoPros are a definite staple for me in all of my travels. The 5 is fantastic because not only does it have a touch screen on the back, which makes it a lot easier for me to know what I'm shooting, but it also has some voice commands so that you can take selfies without a button, and you can tell it to record and stop recording just from your voice. So it's got a lot of really great new features that I appreciate. This one is also waterproof down to, I think, about 30 feet, so I could use it on snorkeling trips. I wouldn't recommend doing scuba diving, but I do use my 3 when I go scuba diving. and I put it in this case with a floaty on the back, so in case it ever does become detached, it will float to the surface and I won't lose it. I have all the different accoutrements that you would want for a GoPro. I have a whole case of things over there on my floor, from head straps to chest holders and bike mounts, steering wheel clamps, all kinds of stuff. So if you're gonna get a GoPro, definitely get all the different things that you would need with it. Now I'm gonna talk to you about one of my favorite cameras, and if you've watched any of my videos, you might have noticed that I have a lot of aerial footage. And no, I didn't rent a helicopter, but I do have a drone. Our last drone was the DJI Phantom, and unfortunately it went for a swim in the Pacific Ocean. Normally my boyfriend shoots all my drone footage because he's a little bit better at flying it. But in the last year or two, I've been shooting most of my own videos, and he hasn't been with me in my journeys because I've been traveling solo. So he got me a brand new drone. This is the DJI Mavic Pro, and just look at the size of it. It's amazing. It's super small, and the wings just fold out like so. And all four obviously fold out. The great thing about this is that it fits in my backpack, and that was the big drawback with my old drone, is that it was hard to travel with because it really didn't fit in anything unless you had a big hard case, which makes it really hard for me to climb a mountain with that with all my other travel gear. So this is like so important for me because honestly I think aerial footage for my videos is really important. Now not everyone is gonna be able to afford a drone or have that as something that they really need or want in their videos, but for me this is a great addition to my camera kit, and I'm super excited to use it coming up on my next adventure. That's pretty much all I use for camera equipment. So just to review, I've got my XC10 that does all my main video, I've got my drone for my aerial footage, and then for all of my underwater and action videos, I've got my GoPros, my iPhone, and my iPad. The other important thing if you're going to be making videos is making sure you have great sound quality. Now I know that a lot of you YouTubers out there don't make videos where you're talking, but if you are trying to do some vlogging and talking to the camera, I highly recommend getting a great external microphone. But normally I record with an external sound system, and what I use are these Sennheiser wireless microphones. Now these are what they use on like big movies and TV shows. They're absolutely fantastic. This one goes on the camera, just plugs into your microphone jack. And then this one goes on me. I usually hang it on my belt or sometimes in my shoe. And then it has this lav microphone that attaches that I just clip on my shirt or dress. I think one of the hardest things about vlogging sometimes is being in places that are extremely crowded and having people stare at you while you're shooting. The reason that I love these is because they're so inconspicuous. I also have a Rode shotgun mic. Unfortunately I had another one, but it didn't work with this camera, which I just found out. So I just ordered a new one that runs on batteries and not camera power. But a shotgun mic obviously is a little bit more, you know, out there as far as like, hey, I'm recording something that's not just a home video. So these are great. They're really pricey. They're around 700 bucks. So if you're just starting out, I would not recommend getting them. They make some cheaper ones from other brands that are a little bit more affordable that you can put on your cell phone or your camera or anything else with a microphone out jack. If you are recording on your iPhone or cell phone, just be mindful of that because the sound quality on those is actually really, really terrible. And sometimes I have had to get away with just using the sound on my iPhone. And while that might work for uploading things to Instagram or Facebook, if you're actually trying to edit a video, the sound quality will never match up with the sound quality from a professional camera. So just keep that in mind, especially if you don't have any external sound capabilities. Last but not least, I'm going to talk to you guys about my tripods and other kind of camera gear that help me actually hold my cameras while I'm shooting, because obviously I'm usually out on a solo trip and I don't have anyone to help me take photographs or record video. So my tripods and other kind of apparatuses that I use to hold my camera are really important for me. Or you guys have seen in a lot of my videos that I'm often hiking a mountain or sailing or out on open water, somewhere where it's definitely not easy to have a steady hand. And especially for me, if I've been hiking all day holding a camera and doing a pan, I'm usually like this. So it's really difficult for me. So this thing has been a lifesaver for me. It's unfortunately really difficult to pack, which sucks, but it's been a real lifesaver for me. So doing those like slow, steady panning shots, this has been a really great asset for me to have. Oh, and just so you guys know, I didn't mention this before, but if you see any of this gear that you like or want to add to your camera gear, I'm going to put a link in the bottom of this video where you'll be able to find all this gear and get it for yourself if you want. This selfie stick and tripod is one of my new favorite things. It's made by a company called Lifestyle Designs. I'll show you the bag that it came in. So made by Lifestyle Designs, and it's called the Grip Stick. The reason this thing is great is because I love taking selfies, and I had this like pink selfie stick that probably cost me $9.99. But I've gotten so many great photos with it. I'll show you a couple pictures of me from my selfie stick. But I recently just got this and it's amazing. So not only does it extend pretty far to take just like a normal selfie, click, click. You can add this to the bottom and it looks just like regular tripod feet, but the great thing is these are malleable. So you can wrap it around just about anything, and you can use this by itself, or you can put the selfie stick on top of it to use as like a long tripod. The great thing about this is that I can use it with my regular video camera. I can also put a GoPro on here or my phone. So it serves a lot of functions. And if I'm ever in a situation where I just need to set something up really quickly and I might not have even ground, this thing is like a lifesaver. I just did a quick switch of my camera and tripod because I wanted to show you guys my new tripod that is really like the cat's pajamas. I love this thing. It's so awesome. It's made by K&F Concepts. It's made out of, I believe, aluminum, so it's super lightweight. And it snaps down just like a regular tripod. You can also take one of these legs off and it becomes a monopod. So if you just wanted to use it like that. The other amazing things about this tripod are, I'm going to show you right now. This slides up and you can actually fold this down, which is really cool for me because a lot of the times, like last year in Portugal, I was at the top of a mountain and I had to jam my tripod in between some like loose lava rocks to try and get it to stay on the hillside. So it was a little bit of a challenge for me, but if I had had this tripod then, it would have been a lot easier for me. It would have been a lot easier for me. So this thing is fantastic. The other great thing about it is that it came with a little carrying case that actually fits in the side part of my backpack, so it makes it super easy for me to travel with it. And it's super sturdy. My last tripod broke about a third of the way up the tallest mountain in Portugal, so I've been looking for a replacement for that for some time, and I finally found this one, and I just think it's absolutely fantastic. If you're looking for a great tripod, this is definitely a really safe bet. It's about $150, I believe it was, but it has a leveler on here, it has a directional thing. You can't go wrong with this tripod because it just does everything. That is pretty much it for what I use for camera gear. I've got my cameras, my tripods, all of my different phones and apparatus, and my sound equipment. Please, 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 if you're not already subscribing to my channel, please hit that subscribe button because it really helps me out. I hope that this video has helped you if you're trying to get into vlogging or blogging. Thanks so much for watching. I hope this gives you a little bit of insight into my life as a YouTuber. And I would really appreciate it if you liked and commented on this video and shared it. I will see you guys on my next adventure.